Hello, my name is Speck, and this is a Speck Deck Tech. Today we'll be going over the modern deck Neobrand, which is a combo deck capable of winning on turn 1. We'll be going over how the deck works, card selection, and I'll show you some matches from Magic Online. If you want to just look at the full deck list, just click on the link below. Now, how do we win? How does the deck function? Well, primarily we win by putting Laboratory Maniac into play and drawing our entire deck. Lab Maniac has a static ability that says if you try to draw a card from an empty library, you win the game instead of losing. Now, how you get Lab Maniac in play and drawing the whole deck, well, that's the complicated part. In Cold Snap, they printed a pitch cycle to harken back to the famous pitch cycle that included Force of Will. Their printed cost was way overcosted, and they all require pitching 2 cards instead of the original 1. One of those Cold Snap cards is Allosaurus Rider. By pitching 2 green cards, you get to put this creature into play. Its power and toughness is equal to the amount of lands you control, +1, which is relevant in case you happen to have no lands in play. To help our chances of drawing Allosaurus Rider, we also play 4 copies of Summoner's Pact. As we often win the turn that we cast Allosaurus Rider, we don't have to really worry about paying for the pact. The deck contains 36 green cards, so finding 2 cards to pitch to it isn't much of an issue. So, we have this overcosted 7-drop in play. Now what? Now we want to find one of 2 spells, either Neoform or Eldritch Evolution. Both of them allow you to sacrifice your overcosted creature, which you paid no mana for Griselbrand, a 7/7 flying lifelink demon, which also happens to have the text that you can pay 7 life to draw 7 cards. This is what allows us to draw our entire deck. Now, assuming we haven't hurt ourselves too much, and our opponents haven't done much damage to us, we can only draw 14 cards. That's a problem. Luckily in Kamigawa, they printed another pitch cycle of cards, among them Nourishing Shoal. Nourishing Shoal says you can pitch a green card rather than pay the cost and the converted mana cost of that card will gain you X life. You may have drawn another Allosaurus Rider, for example, which will net you 7 life, and conveniently, another activation of Griselbrand. We play 2 copies of Autocthon Worm, a 15-mana green-white creature. It's only in the deck so that we can pitch it to Nourishing Shoal, but it will net you 15 life and 2 activations of Griselbrand. The other big creature is another green 7-drop called Chancellor of the Tangle. It's in the deck to pitch, but also because if it's in your starting hand, you can reveal it before the game starts, and you get a free green mana in your first main phase of the game. This is the card that allows us to go off turn 1 sometimes. With it and 1 land, you can cast Neoform on turn 1, and that possibility comes up a lot more often than you might think. Okay, so we've drawn almost our entire deck, but we're tapped out, and we still need to cast Lab Maniac. Well, that's where Simeon's Spirit Guide comes in. For each one you exile, you get a red mana, filter 2 of those into a Manamorphose, and you get a blue and a red, cast Lab Maniac, and draw the rest of your deck. Simple! Now, there's a couple of main deck cards we still need to go over. Serum Visions is to help you find what part of the combo you're missing. Life Goes On, since you sacked your Rider, can gain you 8 life, so you can draw more cards. A Wild Cantor can be used to filter your mana just as well as Manamorphose, but it can also be played on turn 1, so that you can sack it on turn 2 to cast Neoform or Eldritch Evolution. Edge of Autumn can be used to dig 1 card deeper even while you're tapped out. Veil of Summer is a main deck card because discard and counter spells both make it really difficult to win. Also, it can help protect the Lab Maniac from a fatal push when you try to win. Dissenter's Deliverance can also be used just to cycle to help you dig for what you need. There are only 13 cards in the deck, 1 basic island, and 12 lands that will make blue or green. Now, the fact that we only run 13 lands does cause us to take a few more mulligans than normal. Before we get to the matches, a few tricks that I've learned and just some things I would like to go over. When you start to go off, the main way to fail is by not drawing a Nourishing Shoal. So you want to maximize this as much as possible. If you draw a Summoner's Pact, for example, in your first draw, especially if you've already used one, go ahead and use it to thin out the deck of cards that are not Nourishing Shoal before you draw another 7. Try not to pitch the Nourishing Shoal to cast the Allosaurus Rider if you can avoid it. Keep track of how many cards you have left in the deck. The other way for the combo to fizzle is by not drawing the Lab Maniac or how many Spirit Guides you need to cast it. If you manage it right, you should be able to cast Manamorphose to help make the last draw, drawing the whole deck so you have 0 cards left. And then you can just use Edge of Autumn to draw the final card, which will win you the game. Some deck lists only have one Grizzlebrand, but in those, if you draw it naturally in your first turn or second turn, you just lose because there's no way you're going to be able to combo off. So I prefer to have two. Luckily, the new Mulligan roll does make it a little bit easier because any hand with him in it gets to just put him onto the bottom of the deck. Also, remember, Grizzlebrand is a 7/7 flying lifelink demon. Some decks cannot deal with that. If you didn't use Summoner's Pact to get the Allosaurus Rider, you don't have to try and go for the combo. You can just swing with the 7/7 lifelink demon. In fact, it may even be an 8/8 if you use Neoform. Sometimes it may even be worth attacking just one turn to allow you to have one more draw and then go off that next turn. Okay, so let's get into the action. This is from a Modern League for Magic Online. It was about the day Ikoria came out, so a lot of the opponents didn't have much of the Ikoria cards, but this deck list itself hasn't gotten any updates, so it should work. Enjoy! Okay, well, that's all right. We've got 1 mana. If this had land, we'd be okay. Like 1 land, and we could just go off turn 1. But we don't. So we're going to have to mull that one. Yeah. This one has 1 land, but it has uber amounts of shoals. Okay, we can do better than that too. It has no land. Okay, this is only getting worse. What is going on? I'm gonna mold a. Do I have land? Okay, I'm keeping this. I don't know what I'm keeping. I can only keep 3 cards, so I want to keep the Rider. So we're gonna get rid of Spirit Guide. We can't go off turn 1, so we'll get rid of the Chancellor. That way we don't give away what we're doing. I only get to keep 3. Put away the Grove. We want to keep the Rider. I like having this. Do we put away the land or the Eldritch? Put away the land. Alright. Sometimes you lose to mulligans. This is definitely true. Should maybe have kept that second hand, but you just never know. The good news is we didn't see a Thoughtseize there. So we've got a little bit of time. Okay. The problem is we still need at least 3 more cards. We need 1 more land to cast the Eldritch, and then we need 2 green spells as well. Luckily, our opponent's deck doesn't seem like it's going to be too aggressive, so we might have some time. Okay, there's 1 green spell. The other problem when you have to delay this long is your life total dwindles quite a bit. And so you can't combo off simply because... what if they're just playing elves? But you can't combo off because your life totals drop so much. That's not helpful. This would be helpful... Okay, I just need 1 more green spell. Because I can pitch the shoal, although I hate pitching shoals. Because you need them to combo off. But if they're playing elves, just having the Grizzlebrand might be enough. They're about to play Collected Company. I thought. Yeah, they are. Yep. Voted Druid. Oh, now they've got infinite mana. That's possibly really bad. Okay. I can just F6 here because I can't do anything. Witness. Okay. Getting back Collected Company. They're going to recast Collected Company. All they got was an Arbor Elf out of it. All right. Now they're going to swing for 3. All right. So we still have a chance. There's the Neoform. Okay. So we pitch Eldritch and Shoal. Yeah. Now, pitching the Shoal makes it a little bit rougher, but we can still win this. We can't really bank on just using the Grizzlebrand because they have a combo as well. Like, we just run the risk of them just going off against us. Okay, I need a Shoal. And it has to be in the next 7. Should have pacted. Okay, we did not find a Shoal. But we have a Serum Visions. Oh, I can gain life with Life Goes On. Okay. I'll gain 8, because I sacked a creature. Alright, we know we have to go off, so we're going to go ahead and just thin the deck. Grab another worm. If we don't hit a Shoal here, we just die. Alright, we hit one. We hit one. Alright, we're good. We're good. Now we can just draw our deck. Okay. Where's the other Shoal? Should be 2 more. Where are they? They're still in there. Okay, so we're going to have to get really lucky on these Manamorphos. So exile 2 Spirit Guides. Go ahead and it doesn't matter. As long as we get blue and red, we should be fine. Drew the other Manamorphos. Ugh. Just thinking if we... No, I think we just do this. Did we get there? No, we got the pact. Okay, okay. What else can we do? We're down to 10 cards. We still have 2 Spirit Guides. We have the We have the Wild Cantor to be able to cycle one of those. So we can use the blue to Serum Visions here. Actually, let me cast this other Summoner's Pact. Get the last one out. Oh, Edge of Autumn's still in there. So we don't have Edge of Autumn, but we can Serum Visions. There. Oh, we drew a shoal. All right. We'll put that on bottom. We'll put the shoal on top. We drew a shoal. Woo! All right, we got there. We got there. Draw 7. We already know we're drawing that last shoal. We'll gain 7 more. We'll play the last 2 Spirit Guides. Play the Wild Cantor. Sack her for blue. Play Lab Maniac. And win the game. Choose which replacement effect? What? That's weird. I've never had it say that before. That must be a change to the game. Must have been something in the update. Okay, another combo deck. I guess Slaughter Pact would disrupt them for a turn. It's really not going to help, though. I think I may just run it back. Leyline means they can't necessarily go off that turn because they can't ballista me. And they do play black. So they could have Thoughtseizes. So I think we'll do those over the Veils. Yeah. And now the funny part is we mulled to 3 and still won. That is just incredible. All right, that was a nail biter. That's why I do not like pitching shoals. It makes it so much harder to have everything you need. This has Leyline, but it has no way to sack the Allosaurus Rider, and it already has a Grizzlebrand. So if I draw a Grizzlebrand, the other one, I just lose. So I'm going to throw this back. This has Eldritch and Neoform. This can go off turn 1, and I get to pitch. I can put this back. I'm definitely keeping this. Put away Grizzlebrand. So I can play the Sanctum, Spirit Guide, Manamorphose for green-blue. Oh no, I'll be short a green sword. I don't even need another green card. Yep, see, they do have Duress. The nice part about this Duress is they can't take the Rider, and I already have 2 different ways to sack it. So I just need to draw land. Yeah, I'll take Neoform, that's fair. And there's the other green source that could have gone off this turn. Ugh. Now as long as I draw. So now I can pitch Manamorphose and Chancellor. I just need to draw another land. They took the damage, but they didn't do anything. Huh. Interesting. That doesn't do much. Still just... I need a land. Now I can see why I definitely wanted to side in Leyline. Eldermire's Call. Okay. Got to devote a Druid. Got one part of their combo. They may have the other part already. So can't cast them both just yet. It's not a land. I mean, I could be a little reckless and Spirit Guide, play Metamorphose, and just hope to draw land. But that's really iffy. Okay, here we just have to hope they don't have the payoff. It's like last time, they collected company, but they couldn't do anything else. Sure, but it doesn't have haste. Oh, I guess you could just swing. You can just keep pumping it into that. Okay, fair enough. The Devoted Druid can swing. I'm not going to make them do that. That's just cruel. So Slaughter Pact obviously wouldn't have helped us because we just would have died to the pack trigger. Yeah, we just need to go off before they do. If we'd had Leyline, obviously we would have not been discarded and won that way. This hand can go off turn 1. Thanks to the Chancellor. Alright. We get to go off before they actually get to play anything. It's amazing how perfect Neoform is for this deck. And we have some green mana. We play land. We play Allosaurus Rider, pitching 2 Eldritches, which we no longer need. And then we play Neoform. We've got the combo going, so we'll just keep on going. Finding that early shoal helps. We'll just keep on going. There's the other shoal and the worm. Yep. All right. 1-0. This has Neoform, it has lands, and it has Serum Visions, so I think I'll actually keep. It's only missing one part of the combo. So I'll play Sanctum, and we'll Visions. And there's the other part of the combo that we need. And we go off next turn. Seems good. If they're playing blue, we could even wait a turn, although Turn 1, they're not as likely? Oh, okay. We'll be fine. Unless they thought sees me, which they might. Yeah. All right. Well, we've got the Veil coming. But now we're definitely going to have to wait. So we're going to take the Neoform. So, Death Shadow. Oh, okay. It's Mardu Death Shadow. A Sculler as well? Ugh. Had I known what they were playing, I definitely would have put the Veil ahead of the Allosaurus Rider. They are digging for that Death Shadow. There's a Ranger Captain who will find Death Shadow for them, which will already be a 5/5. Well, I got the Eldritch, but I don't have anything to sacrifice. I guess I could Manamorphose here. Get green blue, play Manamorphose. We'll just name green blue again. Oh, we're getting there. They're gonna have to sack the Ranger Captain in order to disrupt this. But I'm gonna have to make them do that. And we'll cast this. Sacking the Edge of Autumn and the Cantor. Yeah, they got it. So now I can't cast Eldritch Evolution, and now the Summoner's Pact will kill me. Well, Thoughtseize always makes it rough. Alright, so we add the ley lines in, obviously. There's nothing we can do about the Ranger Captain. I guess we could also add Veils. Get more Veils. Take all these Serums out. And Center's Deliverance. Alright. Okay. Yes, I definitely want to go first. This has what looks to be really good things, but I'm 2 lands away from being able to cast this. Yeah. It does have Veil, though. No, I'm all. Again, very close hand, but can't protect itself at all. I almost have to mulligan down to the ley line to have a chance here. Oh, this is so close. Because I could get a rider. No. Okay, there's the ley line. All right, I'm going to keep this. The Cantor. All right, we'll put Shoal back. And get rid of 3 of these. We'll put a land back. And we'll put the Cantor back. So obviously we still need some pieces here. But the ley line gives us a chance. I still need to draw like 3 cards. I need two outlets for the rider, and I need a sack. Yeah, so I need 3 cards. 4 if it's an Eldritch and not a Neoform. Okay, apparently my opponent doesn't understand. Well, I guess. Oh, they're thought seizing themselves just to lower their lives. It makes sense. Fair enough. Fair enough. Gotta do what you gotta do. Okay. Got the Sanctum. Now we just need a sack outlet. And 2 lands. So we're still need 3 cards. I mean, even if they play Death Shadow, they're going to have to grow it fast in order to not give us 3 turns. Okay, still 4 turn clock. It's looking good. Oh, too many lands. I'm only playing 13. Starting to get basics now. And Ashiok is game. I cannot beat Ashiok. I would have to like get Spirit Guide out and start swinging with that. There's the Eldritch. Yeah. All right. That match is gone. Ashiok is really rough. All right, and we're in match 3. We've got a Shoal. We've got a Allosaurus Rider. We don't have a sack outlet, but we do have the other things we need, like land. So I think we'll go ahead and keep this. Opponent's mulling to 5. Play an Arid Mesa and say go, huh? Alright. We got our Neoform. Alright, we go off next turn. That's all we needed. Nice part is we can just get rid of Metamorphose and life goes on, so we'll still have the Shoal. No idea what our opponent's playing yet. Let's say if a really weird bird in hand. Oh, that does look like burn. Boros charm me. Sure. So So this is one of the decks where I can actually just consider keeping an 8/8. Like not going off. And an Eldritch. All right, so we can actually keep the Life Goes On, because that might actually be more useful here. So we'll get rid of the Eldritch and the Metamorphose. And we'll play Neoform. Get Grizzy out. Now, if I go take 7, then I just have to go off. I have to keep going. If I don't, they would have to try and kill this with 3 bolts, which is a fairly unlikely hand. Or just try and kill me out, which also is unlikely. I think I'm going to wait a turn. We'll just try and kill them with a giant demon. Them having exactly triple bolt is just so unlikely. Searing Blaze it? Sure. But it's only going to deal 3 damage to it, and you've only got 1 mana left. You got a Lightning Axe? Skewer the Critics. Okay. I mean, I guess it still deals me some damage, but this is where it's so bad. I'm going to gain 8 life from hitting them. And I already drew another Rider, so I can already gain 7. Yeah, there's no way they can win from here. They're already down to 1 card. Looking good. Searing Blaze it again? Sure. Go for it. Whatever makes you feel good. And now they give up. Alright. So burn. Leyline of Sanctity is decent, because it does prevent a lot of their stuff from targeting me. Definitely don't need the Veils. The question is, do I bring in something like Nature's Claim? That seems wise. Because they're likely to have, like, Grafdigger's Cage or something like that. Side in. So, and then we'll take out the Serum Visions also, because they're blue, so this way keep our green card count nice and high. Obviously, this has no land and no Chancellors, so we can't keep this. This one has way too many Summoners packs. We only have 1 land. Yeah, no. Try again. Has a sack outlet. can at least cycle this. This might be... We might have to keep this. We'll keep this. We'll get rid of one Spirit Guides. Spirit Guides are easily probably the most replaceable. But I don't need the Chancellor. Okay, it's done. So if we draw a Rider... no, we need one more green card to have Rider make it work. Still, this is our best, I think. Maybe I should have kept the Chancellor instead of the Spirit Guide, but we've got a couple turns here. Okay, there's another green card, although I really don't want to pitch a shoal against them. If they don't play any artifacts next turn, I'll go ahead and just cycle the Deliverance. Rest in peace. That doesn't do anything. That's a terrible card. Why would you bring that in? Okay, sure. I don't use my graveyard. I guess they don't understand how my combo works normally. I mean, this isn't the most played combo deck out there, so maybe opponents just never played against it. But for future knowledge, don't bring in Rest Peace against Neobrand. It doesn't do anything. Okay, well, I'm just finding all the Dissenter's Deliverances I need. Still need a Rider and a land. My opponent doesn't have a whole lot of pressure on me, so... but again, I'm probably going to play out the Neobrand and not... Or the Grizzlebrand, and I'm not going to combo off. I'm going to be very low in life probably by then anyway. Goblin Guide, okay. Find me a land, Mr. Guide. You did. Good, Guide. Good. I guess they could have Skullcrack? Well, now they can't. Okay. I'm going to go to 11. And suspend Riftbolt. Alright. So we'll cycle Deliverance. Edge of Autumn. Alright. We can play the Sanctum. I think we'll go ahead and Manamorphose. And just try and get there this turn. And we got there. We can pitch the second Neoform in the Edge of Autumn. Alright. Let's grab Alice Horse Rider. Who will get rid of this and this. So here's the question. Do we take... My opponent only has one card in their hand. They're going to draw a second one, sure. I think oh no, I searched. I have to go for it. I use a Summoner's Pack, so I have to. Alright. So we gotta hope we hit at least one thing to sack, preferably a worm with the shoal. At least we already have a shoal. Those are usually the hardest parts to come by. We hit another pact. Excellent. So we can go find another worm. And we hit 2 shoals. Oh, we should be good. There's another pact. And go grab the other worm. And we'll cast Nourishing Shoal. Go up to 27. And we'll just keep thinning the deck as much as we can. We've already got our Lab Maniac now. We'll draw 7. I just like using all the packs so I don't have to worry about like to thin the deck as much as I can. Okay, that's all the shoals. But we can draw 7. Go to 8. We've already got the Lab Maniac. They're tapped out. So we can play guide, play guide, play guide. Get blue and red. Play another Metamorphose. Drop down to 6 cards left. And a red. Play Lab Maniac and win the game. Interesting that it makes you choose to click the Lab Maniac. That's a new thing. Okay, match 4. Currently 2-1. Definitely not keeping that hand. You know, if this Wild Cantor is a Metamorphose, we could we could do that. No, it's a mulligan as well. Man. Okay, this one's got Rider and Neoform. So I think we'll keep this. So I can get rid of 2 cards. Let's get rid of Eldritch. And I think Spirit Guide. Although if I draw Metamorphose, then Spirit Guide could allow me to go off. But I like having the Veil as protection. Yeah, let's put the Shoal up. And the Eldritch. It's finding another green card's easier than the lands, so. So I need to draw another green source. Another green card. And a land. Maybe a couple turns, but oh no. Oh, they're gonna get it turn 1? Ah! No Veil Protection when you haven't played a land yet. So they'll take the Neoform here. Now we need a lot more cards. Spirit Guide is possibly the worst card we could have drawn. So it looks like Jund. Ren 6, sure. I mean, if they get to the point of doing the emblem, we were already dead anyway. Serum Visions, alright, that's helpful. We drew a land. We don't need the shoal. No, we're gonna bottom those. We need to find a sack outlet. And another green land. Another green card. So at least 2 more turns. Okay, here, I'm just gonna F6 this. They had nothing else they were doing. Wow. Neither do I, though. I mean, at least we now have the second green card. Still need something to pitch, though. Need a sack outlet. Do they just have lands in hand? Gotta have more than 7 lands. What are you doing? I'm guessing this is Bloodbraid. Yep. Finds a Lily. Well, that's fine. I can discard a Spirit Guide. That doesn't really cost me much. I'd be in trouble if it were game 2 where they might have surgical. Just going aggro with Ren 6. Alright. Didn't swing. It's an odd choice. I don't understand that at all. I think I'm going to go ahead and cycle Metamorphose. Because that Lily is going to quickly start eating through my hand, so I just need to kind of go for it. It's going to be annoying if I would draw the Eldritch. No, another Spirit Guide. Ugh. Okay. Well. As often happens, a turn 1 discard spell makes it quite difficult to win. I have to remember that I've already pitched 2 Spirit Guides, so I have to use my land for the turn to cast Lab Maniac. Sanctum, alright. Bolt me, sure. I guess I still pitch the guide here. Yep. Another Lily? That seems bad. Yep. Alright, they got that game. Alright, so in comes all the ley lines. Now, knowingly, Leyline can't prevent Liliana because it's just each player, but it will prevent the early discard. So we'll add in the other 2 Veils as well. So we'll take out all the Serum Visions. And Dissenter's Deliverance. Alright. Okay, so we Chancellor and Spirit Guide, Manamorphose for green-blue, and then we can pitch the Worm and the Chancellor and just go off. All right, we'll keep. With no land. I hate pitching a Worm, but we could also actually probably just get Grizzy out and wait a turn. They can't kill it until they get Lily. So I could actually get a hit off with it first. That way I draw. I can get an extra draw since I'm not going to have the Worm anymore. And we'll Spirit Guide. I'm going to Spirit Guide first, just in case we find a better thing to... Remember, we're not casting out Source Rider before doing this. In case we get a better thing to discard, which we did. So we'll pitch this and this. Play Neoform. Get Grizzy out. We can draw 7 first. Hey, we found a land. And now we can just wait. They can't win turn 1. I can just pitch this ley line, which I can't cast anyway. Now we're gonna veil it. Now I'm up to 21. I'm just gonna run out this Allosaurus Rider and say go. I've got lethal on the table already. Next turn I have to actually go for the win because they could have a turn 3 Lily. Well, the Rider protects me from Lily, actually. Alright, you're conceding. Alright, let's run that back. Our first time going off with absolutely no land in our hands. This one doesn't have Spirit Guide or Neoform, so we can't do that again. This one has no sack outlet and no land and a Grizzy. Don't like any of those things. This one has a sack outlet. But I don't have Leyline. So the question is, do I mull to 4, hoping for Leyline, in which case it's going to take a few turns to win anyway? Or do I hope this... Do I play turn 1 Cantor so I can go off turn 2 with Rider? Well, I already have to take out several of these cards though. Put this up. Alright, we'll take one more mulligan. I was hoping for a Leyline. Alright, we'll keep this. We're going to put back the Shoals. Put 3 cards back. Yeah, so put the Shoals back and a land. Still going to be rough. There's almost no way they didn't keep a hand that doesn't have discard. Yep. They should take the Eldritch here. Honestly. Yep. Got the Rider. I just need a way to pitch it, and I need a way to... Another card to discard it to. Okay, that's good. Curious if they were cycling to find another land? So now they're going to take the Pact. Okay. So I just have a Rider, no cards to pitch to it, and no way to get it in play. Well, there's a Veil that would have been useful last turn. But at least Rider's protected from now on. And they have no clock as of now. Problem is if they get like a Liliana out, that's just game over. Okay. I just need like a Neoform. Okay. So we get to Veil from this. They only have 2 cards in hand. Like, they've now don't have much of a clock themselves. I just need something to pit. I just need one of the other 7 cards to sack Allosaurus Rider. Don't want to sack a land. Okay, we can still protect ourselves from that. Chancellor, okay. It's a better card to pitch to the rider than Shoal. They've only got one card in hand, so at this point they could actually cast a Lily and I would be okay for at least a turn. I really want them to find like Goyf or just something that does nothing. Well, I definitely found something that does nothing. It does so little, in fact, that if they make us discard, we were okay. I'm going to play the Gemstone Mine so I can sack the Waterlogged Grove at the end of their turn. That's fine. Oh, that's just going to take one of those, either the Shoal or the Metamorphose. That's doesn't do a whole lot. Shoal definitely makes more sense. Doesn't matter what color. Just going to tap this draw card. There we go. And we drew another Metamorphose, so I can keep the Chancellor. Alright. Now we do need to go off. We need to at least try to go off because they could have... If they top deck Liliana, they can just make me sack the Griselbrand. And there's a Shoal. Excellent. No Summoner's Pack, so we'll draw again. We're down one Shoal, so we only have 3 of these. Do they have double bolt? Alright. I'm going to Shoal now, just in case. Yeah, they had 2 bolts. I'm going to go up to 10. Now, I haven't pacted yet. Oh, there's the pact. So I don't have another Shoal. So there I have no cards in hand. I think I just play a land. I can come play tap, that's fine. We're going to play the Allosaurus Rider. I don't need these anymore. and just say go. We'll pitch the ley lines. Sure, they get a Goyf. My Allosaurus Rider is actually going to be a 6/6. And I'm going to go up to 15. All right, we're going to get there. The hard way, but we got there. All right, 3-1. One more. I would like to go first. I've got Neoform and Eldritch. I think I'll keep this. The serums will definitely help me find the Allosaurus Rider and green sources. All right. Take a little bit of damage, but should be okay. All right, we don't need the Spirit Guide. Oh, look, an Allosaurus Rider. And we drew our second land. Awesome. The only downside is we would have to pitch a shoal. No Thoughtseize or anything. That's good for me. So we'll pitch a shoal and the Eldritch. We don't want to wait. Based on their colors, they could easily have discard spells. So let's take one hit. We didn't find a shoal. I don't really want to draw again, and I don't think they can make me sack it yet based on the colors, so I'm going to go ahead and just let this ride. We'll discard one of the Serum Visions and the Grizzlebrand. And they just concede. All right, well, we don't know what they're playing, but the Ley Lines and Veil of Summers all seem likely to stay in. Or to be the obvious includes. We'll take out the 4 Serum Visions. And the Dissenter's Deliverance. All right. I've actually had a higher number of wins on just playing Grizzlebrand and swinging than normal. Also had a lot more turn 1 and turn 2 hands than normal. We've got Veil Summer, so I like that. We've got Allosaurus Rider, and we got something to sack it. This is a good hand. Doesn't have Leyline, but we have Summoners Pact. So if they make us discard turn 1, I'll lose Eldritch. But I still have enough other good stuff that it's worth keeping. Oh, that's what they're playing. Well, Leyline wouldn't have mattered anyway. I just got to get lucky here. Okay, so we kept the Eldritch. Okay, that wasn't too bad for us. If we draw a Neoform... Oh, no, we lost Metamorphose, so we can't do that. We drew the Neoform. Okay. Let's play a land. And just say go. They've got bolts, usually, so I don't want to... just run the Rider out. And they're not going to Burning Inquiry every turn. Hopefully. Don't have enough for Ox. Okay, they're just Goblin Loring. Cool. No other hollow one. Or it doesn't look like it. And we go off. Play Allosaurus Rider. We'll pitch Eldritch and a Neoform. And then we cast Neoform. Now the question is, do we try and go off? They've only got 2 lands. I haven't played against that deck to know if they have any sack outlets. Like, I don't think they play Liliana. But I'm worried if I go to 9, that could put me a little low. Nah, let's go for it. 1 game 1, so if this fizzles, I'll survive. Alright, well, we got a worm. But again, if I don't find a shoal here... I mean, even if they have a Phoenix or something... Alright, I think we'll go ahead and... we'll give them 1 turn. We don't need that. We don't need that anymore. So I'll pitch Gemstone instead. And 1 more. I don't need that many Chancellors. If he actually swings, I'm going to have to block. Blood Moon. Okay. Just nothing. I don't... Yeah, that's fine. Okay, well, I'm gonna swing with the Grizzy. Take them to 5. Do we think they can actually deal 17 to me? Seems unlikely. I think I'll just play out... Yeah. Okay, so that's the deck. I had completely forgotten that I managed to win a game after mulliging down to 3 cards. Like many combo decks, the more you know it, the more you're able to find the path to victory. Leave a comment below if you have ever wanted to play this deck or have ever had to face off against it. Give the video a like if you found it helpful, and by all means subscribe if you want to see future deck techs. Even tell me what deck you might want to see in the future. You can also find me streaming on Twitch TV at VictorShade MTG. Until next time, don't get too salty.